Alright, so now we're actually doing some work. It says function assignment. If f of x equals 4x minus x squared, find the following. So the first one's find f of 4 minus f of negative 4. So what do? Like I mentioned in the previous video, we take the initial statement, f of x equal to 4x minus x squared. We write it above so we can see it's above. And every time you see an x, you're going to replace it with what? You replace it with 4. So now I have 4 times 4 minus 4 times 4. Now I don't even have to do math. I can clearly see that it's going to be 0. So f of 4 is 0. And then we have to do the same thing with the other one. Remember, it's f of negative 4. So we go over here with f of negative 4. I may even rewrite the function above just so that it's clear. And substitute. So notice I'm substituting in the values there. Okay, so 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Negative 4 squared is 16. So this is negative 32. Okay, something very important to note. The name of the game in math is always to follow math grammar, which is PEMDAS. So notice what I did. Negative 4 squared is 16. Then I have dropped the negative. Okay, you cannot do negative times a negative as a positive. That would be wrong. Because mathematics says, or PEMDAS says, it's a square before you subtract. Okay? So there we have it. We have negative 32. So if we are subtracting the two, if we're doing f of 4 minus f of negative 4, then we're doing 0 minus negative 32, which is positive 32. Okay? And there's our answer. Alright, let's look at the next one. More of the same. It's asking us to do the square root of f 3/2. Okay, so they're introducing fractions. Don't freak out. Same thing. Take 3/2. Above I'm going to write f of x. 4x minus x squared. I'm going to substitute what I know. And we're going to solve. So how do I solve this? Well, this is really saying 4 divided by 2. So we can cancel that out and leave that as 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus, this is saying we're going to square. So when you square, you have to square both numerator and denominator. So it's going to be 3 squared is 9. 2 squared is 4. And what I now have here is 6 over 1 minus 4 over 4. So what I'm going to have to do to solve this is get a common denominator. So multiply top and bottom by 4. 6 times 4, or 4 times 6 is 24 over 4 minus 4 over 4, which is 20 over 4, which is 5. And there's my answer. Okay, so we now know that f of 3/2 is 5. So what can I do? Well, now it's just going to be the square root of 5, which is what? The square root of 5. And there's our answer. Fantastic. Okay, one more. This is where it gets fun. We're going to be given f of x plus h minus f of x minus h divided by 2h. Okay, so how do we go about solving this? It's going to become if f of x equals 4x minus x squared. I'm just going to substitute in these values in here. So f of x plus h is going to be 4 times x plus h minus x plus h squared. So this gives me 4x plus 4h minus, I'm going to have to FOIL this out, so I'll put it in brackets, x plus h times x plus h. Okay, alright, so again, all I did was replace x with x plus h, so x with x plus h, and then I'm going to have to FOIL it out. So when I FOIL this out, x times x is x squared, x times h is xh, h times x is xh, h times h is h squared, which becomes x squared plus combine like terms 2xh plus h squared. This part I'll just bring down, so it's 4x plus 4h. Keep in mind that this is all in parentheses. And also, notice that I haven't even begun to solve for negative f of x minus h. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. I'm just tackling f of x plus h, so we still got some work to do. Alright, something about this right here, when you FOIL, you should know, and usually we see this like x plus y or a plus b, that this statement is true. Okay? This mathematical statement is true because of foiling, so notice that I ended with 2xh because instead of y we have h. But you really should know this. This makes this whole process a lot easier. So when I see x plus h times x plus h, I don't have to FOIL it all out. I can actually jump straight here. If you memorize that this is this, it saves you a lot of time. And you're going to find, as you progress in mathematics, that this is a really good idea. You should, there are certain things that it's good to know where it comes from, but once you understand where it comes from, you don't need to keep redoing it. So, a little backstory: when I was in high school, I used to do math. I used to be like, I don't want to spend my time memorizing things. I just want to if I can know the process, it's just not going to take me any time. I can just keep repeating it over and over again. And that's true. That's not bad logic, but it makes a lot more sense. And I found as I started to do more and more math that it just becomes a little tedious to FOIL every single time. If I know that jumping straight there is a lot easier than FOILing it out every time. So I would encourage you to do that. Alright, so now I have 4x plus 4h, and then I'm just going to make all these negative. Negative x squared minus negative 2xh minus h squared. Okay, can we cancel anything out? Nope. So we're going to leave that as is. Alright, and now we're going to have to do the same thing again, this time with x plus h. I'm sorry, x minus h. So same process. You can really basically repeat the same steps. Instead of plus, you're putting minus. Okay? So I'm going to end up getting 4x minus 4h minus parentheses. And again, just like x plus y is this, if it's negative, the only thing that changes is that it becomes negative here. So instead of redoing this whole thing, I'm just going to write x squared minus 2xh, plus h squared. I keep wanting to write y. Okay, and you can see it's just faster. It just flows a little easier. Okay, this breaks down to 4x minus 4h minus x squared plus 2xh minus h squared. Just distributing the negatives. Okay, now that I have that, what am I going to do next? Well, this is f of x plus h. This is f of x minus h. And we can take these two statements and we're going to subtract them. So it's going to be 4x plus 4h minus x squared minus 2xh minus h squared minus, and then we rewrite the other one, 4x minus 4h minus x squared plus 2xh minus h squared. Alright, so we wrote that out, and then we're just going to solve. So when I solve this, I get 4x plus 4h minus x squared minus 2xh minus h squared minus 4x plus 4h. Now notice what I'm doing. I'm just changing the signs. Plus x squared minus 2xh plus h squared. Alright, and then we're going to see if we can cancel stuff out. We'll leave 4x and negative 4x cancel out. What else cancels out? Negative x squared cancels out with x squared. and negative h squared cancels out with h squared. So I'm left with 4h minus 2xh plus 4h minus 2xh, which becomes 8h combined like terms and negative 4xh. Keep in mind that I didn't write out the denominator, but the denominator is 2h. So what can I do? Well, because I have h's here, I can factor the h out. And actually, we have an 8 and a 4, so why don't I factor out 4 as well? So 4h minus xh all over 2h. Alright. And again, we have h's in common, so like if there, I should have really written 4h. And that would be 4 minus x all over 2h. Alright, cool. Now that we're here, these guys are going to cancel. We're going to get 2 times 4 minus x. And if I distribute, I get 8 minus 2x. Okay? So yeah, it's a little painful. There's a lot of process involved in this. It took me 2 pages of math to get there, but I write big. Right? And we eventually get to our answer. Okay? So there you have it. All right. The next video we're going to tackle the next 3 questions, 4, 5, and 6. So see you in the next video. Post some comments. As you can see, I did goof a little bit. I made this longer than it had to be. I could have jumped straight from here to here. So if there's anything that's confusing in here, let me know. Maybe I can make some comments. All right. See you when I see you.